The Switch is gathering a nice little collection of co-op shooters. Games like Overwatch and Paladins fill out the first-person genre, and then you have one of my all-time favourite Switch games, Splatoon 2, in the third-person category, along with some smattering of smaller indie titles such as the Left 4 Dead-like Earthfall. So is there room for another entry? A group of friends collectively known as Digital Cyber Cherries certainly think so, and I'm Paul from SwitchedOn. Here's my review of their game, Hypercharged Unboxed, on the Nintendo Switch. Hypercharge Unboxed puts you and up to 3 other players, locally or online, in the tiny plastic shoes of a toy soldier as you face off against waves of enemies intent on destroying one of the 3 cores dotted around the giant levels. In true Honey I Shrunk the Kids fashion, the levels look impressively huge with incredible attention to detail. Whether you're in the bathroom, hallway, bedroom or even a giant Toys R Us style department store, every nook and cranny of the level design here is on point. You'll be spotting giant cheeky recreations of well-known items, and they're just so well designed that you can't help but stop and admire them at times. Getting around these giant levels is a bit of a problem though. With the jumping mechanics feeling floaty and imprecise, it's often an exercise in frustration getting to where you need to be. If these controls were tightened up a bit, then it would be tremendous fun to find all the well-designed ledges and pathways to reach higher ground, and also find the hidden surprises, coins and weapon attachments that are dotted around. As I mentioned earlier, once stationed in one of these rooms, enemy forces will make their way in and try to attack your cores. They'll pretty much ignore you for the most part, which makes it feel like you're doing all the work in the relationship, but especially if you're playing solo, you will at least find that you are kept busy firefighting in different locations. Once you party up with other players, you can pretty much just sit on point and pick off each target, and herein lies the second problem for me. The solo games are just not really how the game is meant to be played, and on the harder difficulties and trickier maps, it's near impossible to keep all your cores intact. With more players, you then lose that need to run around and find good spots to take on the enemies. I feel with a bit more thought in the game design, and absolutely the inclusion of AI-controlled teammates, this would have been a lot more fun. To assist you fend off the enemy waves, you have a short amnesty period where you construct tower defence-like structures on set points throughout the map, each costing different amounts of coins which you can collect from spots on the map from fallen enemies or in blind bag toys. Money can also be spent in cleverly designed shops whilst in battle. These take the form of plastic accessories cable tied inside toy boxes. This was a very cool idea, and it's these little neat touches that give Hypercharge a lot of heart. I also liked how your character uses small cards on his forearm in the build mode to choose what to build, and the way the weapon attachments spin around your gun. Again, nice little touches. Once all waves have been dispersed on a map, you're awarded medals which can then be used to unlock more maps and a whole wealth of cosmetics from new characters, weapons and a variety of skins. There is actually a fair amount here to unlock, and it will take a completionist a decent amount of time to grab everything on offer. If co-op isn't your thing, Hypercharge does feature some PvP modes, which unfortunately I didn't get to try out, but I am looking forward to giving these a go post-launch. I really pictured playing this game on the outdoors garden map, 4 versus 4, hiding in the long grass and jumping on flower pots. I can see that mode being a ton of fun if there are enough players playing the game. And that really is my fear. The Switch indie scene can often struggle to get player numbers into games, especially as this hasn't been designed for cross-platform play. As a minimum, as I said earlier, the game really needs AI bots to fill in the empty spaces, and unfortunately they're just not here. Nor do the developers have any concrete plans to add them. Talking of which, my last concern is the fact that this game doesn't feel finished. It's still in early access on Steam some 3 years after launching, and it definitely feels like it on the Switch too. There are little corners cut here and there. For example, the game doesn't really have any tutorial to speak of, and this has been earmarked to be added post-launch at some point. The devs actually announced a roadmap of updates recently, which is commendable on one hand as it shows the game will be supported, but all it's done for me is highlight that this isn't a finished title, and it feels a little cheeky to be launching at full price on the Switch just now. So, to finish up, if you have gaming buddies that you think you could get together regularly, then you'll very likely get a lot of fun from Hypercharge Unboxed. Its superb graphics and pretty much rock solid 30 frames per second performance at all times are absolutely commendable, and they've put together some nice, unique ideas on the genre. Solo players' mileage may vary, and whilst the mechanics are quite fun, soon the lack of threat to the player and just a feeling of isolation generally made me quickly lose interest. Couple that with the fact that some major gameplay features such as voice chat and the full tutorial are missing and are possibly 3 to 4 months away, then I'm going to find it hard to recommend this game right now. If all the promised features come to fruition on time, then this could absolutely be scored around the 8 mark or higher. But I can't really give it a score on potential, as good as the main concept is, and as much unlockable content there is here, it just feels like you'll see all the game has to offer pretty quickly, and for that reason I'm going to be scoring Hypercharge Unboxed on the Nintendo Switch a slightly disappointing 6 out of 10. I'll try to revisit this one in the summer to see how those planned updates over the coming months have changed the game. But for now, I want to thank you for watching the review. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you feel like it. Really appreciate it. And drop me a comment what you think about these games. There's a few that have sort of dropped that feel like they're in early access. Do you think it's fair on the Switch that these are charged at full price with updates to come at a later date? I'm not so sure myself, but let me know below. And with that, I will just say thank you once again, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.